5,
Oh, what did you say?
4, 3, 2.
Good morning, peasants. Today will be sunny with a chance of plague. The Peterloo Massacre occurred earlier today at St. Peter's Fields, Manchester, England, on 16th August 1819. That is today. When the Royal Army charged into a crowd of somewhere near 60 to 80,000 gathered at a meeting to demand the reform of parliamentary representation. This is all after the end of the Napoleonic Wars in 1815, and unfortunately this resulted in famine and widely spread unemployment. And that's not good because there's lots of hobos on the street. And this has to stop. Provoked by the introduction of the first of the corn laws, because they're corny, by the beginning of this year, the pressure generated by poor economic conditions has been met with the lack of suffrage in the north of England. This has enhanced the appeal of political radicalism. In response, the Manchester Patriotic Union, a group of radicals reformed by our man, Henry Hunt, has been annoying the government for parliamentary reform. So, this morning, shortly after the meeting began, a few local lords and magistrates called on the military authorities to arrest Henry Hunt, a radical sticking up for our voting rights. Wouldn't you like to vote? I know I would. They also arrested several others on the hustings with him. Apparently, the army was meant to disperse the crowd, and that's why cavalry charged into the crowd with their swords drawn. Yeah, right. They disobeyed orders, and foolishly, 15 people were killed. Innocent people. 400 to 700 were injured. They refused to admit their flaws and still are denying a reform. Just in. They call it the Peterloo Massacre because it is ironic. In comparison to the Battle of Waterloo, which has taken place 4 years ago, this was named to mock those brave soldiers charging into a peaceful protest, killing women and children. This just shows what the world has come to. Oh, and here is a picture I just drew on what the Peterloo thing looks like. That's what I did.
I'm Ava here with Maria and Alexandra at St. Peter's Field, and I think we can all agree that it's very crowded and approximately 60,000 to 8,000 people.
The end of the French War in 1815 has resulted in a period of hunger and unemployment.
The poor and unemployed are demanding a reform of the political hierarchy.
By the beginning of 1819, poor economic conditions coupled with the lack of suffrage in northern England enhanced the appeal of political radicalism.
In response to this, a group of radicals named the Manchester Patriotic Union organized a peaceful protest. What was a peaceful protest has turned into a political bloodbath. People are being injured all the time with a total of 15 deaths.
The army has acted out of turn.
All of this over freedom of speech and the right to vote.
Don't you think we should have the freedom of speech, Phoebe?
I do think we should have the freedom of speech, Laura.
Freedom of speech! Freedom of speech! Freedom of speech! I do not believe in freedom of speech or any of that stuff. Henry the Hunt must die.
Excuse me?
Now. Baby! die.
No!
You!